Come on in, kind of filter towards the center here. Don't worry if they don't like much. At least I haven't in the last 400 years. Well, you know, that's kind of hard. Yeah, I'm actually right in the middle. I'm right in that part now. Oh, really? How's everybody's Halloween going so far?
Great.
Has everybody seen any coaches yet?
No.
Well,
There's still
we
time.
can change that.
I just wanted you to look up to the second level and notice the row of doors. Those are actually the rooms where the sailors stayed. They stayed two in a room, which were really comfortable accommodations to them compared to what they were used to. And also, as you could see, the original oil light fixtures are still in place. And there have been multiple reports of paranormal activity in this building. Bruce from PISI is going to elaborate on that.
My name is Bruce. I am the founder of Paranormal Investigations of Staten Island. I have one of my crew members here with us today. His name is Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay. I'm an investigator here.
Okay. All right. One of the most innovative things I'd like to show you about this building is, as she mentioned, this was a dormitory for the first 40 sailors who came here. All right. They stayed up there in those rooms. All right. Right directly above us, you'll see the bottom of the weather vane on top of the building. That sound that you are hearing is made by the weather vane. Okay. No, it's not. No, it doesn't need oil. It actually was intended to make that sound. It's innovative. It was to make ambient sounds of being on a boat to comfort the sailors while they stayed here. All right? Some of the activity that goes on in this building is actually on the second floor. Unfortunately, I cannot bring you tonight. All right? There are apparitions of shadows walking up and down the side corridors and in and out of the rooms. Okay? Also on the second floor, you will hear footsteps, very faint footsteps walking down the corridors. All right? Security has mentioned on night when they're closing the building up, they will audibly hear a voice call their name when they are the only people in the building. Okay? With no visible source. All right? Also, in this building, when they are closing up at night, they shut all of these lights off and set up the alarm and they lock the door as they leave. Okay? When they do their final rounds, before they leave the grounds, they will notice that all the lights are back on. Now, the two lights over here are on a timer. They come on around 7:20 at night. But we're talking about the side lights on the mezzanine. Okay? Right here on the first floor, there's an apparition of a tall gentleman who walks past that door and sometimes goes down Shinbone Alley, which is that corridor right there. Okay? They call it Shinbone Alley because the sailors used to fight in there and they used to whack each other in the shins with their canes. Okay? So, also on this floor here, you will hear the sounds of footsteps, but not just any footsteps. You'll hear heel-to-toe footsteps, which is probably because they have heels on their shoes. You'll hear, which you hear the heel hit it first. Okay? Now, to show you some of the equipment that we use when we're trying to capture paranormal activity, if you just follow me over to the big table behind us. So everybody here know what EMF stands for? Go ahead. You had it.
Electromagnetic
Field. Very good. Okay, electromagnetic field. So between the two of you, you got it. Okay? We use a number of devices to determine this. This is an EMF detector. It's a very basic one. It's analog. It only reads up to 10 Gauss. Okay, Gauss is a measurement of electricity. It is single axis, which means it only reads in front of it. This device was not intended for paranormal investigations. This was actually designed and used by electricians. As I turn it on, if you just excuse me, they use it to determine leaking electricity. Okay? And I just buried the needle past 10, which means there's a lot more coming out of that. All right? This also has a secondary feature on it. It has a tracer feature. If you hold the button down, As I get closer to the light, actually get closer to that light, you can see I'm tracing where the energy is coming from. Spirits use an enormous amount of electromagnetic energy to manifest, to touch you, to move things, to influence. This is why we use these meters, okay? This is a different type of EMF meter. It is, again, single axis, okay? But it is digital, all right? This has two measurements on it, Tesla and Gauss. Tesla is slightly more sensitive than Gauss, all right? This is a great meter except for one fatal flaw. What happens when I shake it? You see all that? As I shake it, I'm getting a false reading. So when you're using this device, you have to be very careful to be slow and gentle with your sweeps, okay? Now, this is one of our favorite EMF meters. It's my personal favorite. This is a tri-field natural EMF meter. Tri-field means that, unlike its predecessors, it reads in a 360-degree field in 30 feet range, okay? It goes through walls. Natural means that instead of the EMF that is generated by the outlets and by the lights, it only reads the low-frequency DC EMF that we generate out of our bodies. Our bodies generate upwards of about 1 gigajoule of electricity a year. This is more than your batteries do. Now, there must be a spirit in here because our battery is going low on this. So it's I'm having a hard time with it now. But as you can see, I'm able to influence the meter. But the devices that I have are not. Okay, my man-made radio, my cell phone, my camera case. Okay? Because this device here is so sensitive to EMF, we use it in DVD sessions. It's easier for a spirit to influence that needle than trying to speak with us. But we also use one of these. This is a general woodland compass. We use these on camping trips and the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. All right, two reasons we use this. One, in the last 500 years, compasses have not changed design all that often. So they are recognizable, and we use them as provoking agents. All right, if you look at the one on the ceiling as opposed to here, you'll notice they didn't change the design all that much. Yes, that's the wind blowing the weather vane. Okay. The other reason we use this is to correlate with our EMF meter, okay? If you notice, if you all gather around, again, I don't bite that much. All right? As long as I do not move this compass, I cannot influence this meter to be anything other than magnetic north, okay? But when I introduce a small magnet to it, it's very sensitive to magnetism. So when the energy is being drawn by these spirits to communicate, this is actually even easier for them to use than to try and influence our meters, okay? Now, with EMF, there's a specific medical condition they found in Sweden. It's called electromagnetic hypersensitivity disorder. I actually suffer from this myself. It means I can hear the electricity in the lights. I can hear it in the walls. And if I enter a room with high concentration EMF, I feel a pressure on my head like somebody's squeezing it in a vice. I get headaches. I'm very photosensitive with the light, so I can't be in it too long. All right? This high concentration EMF that affects me also affects you. It affects you in a way we call the fear cage. All right? A fear cage is high concentration EMF that will make you hallucinate. It'll give you feelings of paranoia, feelings of doubt and dread, depression. It'll throw your equilibrium off so you'll actually feel dizzy. Anybody here ever walk into a dark basement and it's like, I don't know if I want to go in there? That's the feeling you would get, okay? High concentration EMF is actually very dangerous to human beings. So if you do have high concentration in your house, you might want to have an electrician check it out for you and fix it, all right? The last piece of equipment I want to show you is this. Does anybody know what this is?
Laser temperature reader.
Very good. Infrared. This is infrared temperature, but it's the same thing. It does have a little laser pointer. I try not to blind people with. All right? And it works just like a bond point click. And you scan. And it'll tell you the ambient temperature of the room. This is about 56, only until they pass the door, which is frigid outside. All right? Why do we check the temperature as paranormal investigators? Cold spot. Why does it get cold? Do you know why it gets cold? You're a large crowd. You have to speak up. Very good. Simple physics dictates. If you take the energy from something, you're also removing heat. All right? So, because they're trying to gather all this energy to show themselves, so as they're pulling away the heat. So we look for 10 to 15 degrees change in temperature, okay? And we use this device. Unfortunately, with this device, I cannot tell you if you have a ghost. I can tell you how hot or cold your house is, okay? With these devices, I can tell you if there's leaking electricity, but again, I cannot tell you if there's a ghost. But part of a whole, when they come together, I can tell you if you have paranormal activity simply by all my readings. They point in a direction for us, okay? So we have to have everything collaborate together before I can tell you if you have a ghost or not. Does anybody have any questions or about the building or about paranormal activity?
Yeah, what's going on in this building?
I already explained
The walking here, that's it?
the walking, the apparition down by Shinbone Alley, and the apparitions up on the second floor along with footsteps and people talking, calling out voices. That's heard every day within the last month that I know of.
But it's only at night, like when there's only people here?
No, well, the voices are only heard at night, but the apparitions are seen daily during the day, at night.
So it doesn't matter how many people are in here?
No, it doesn't matter how many people are here. I only mentioned that there's only one person in here when I mentioned the voices, so that it's not explainable by people being here. They're alone in the building when they hear that voice.
No, I'm just wondering if the fact that there's so many people here would affect.
But that could be. Ghosts are shy. They will shy away from large crowds sometimes. Okay? Yes?
Have you heard these things personally?
Yes.
Did you stay overnight or something? Did you stay overnight or something?
No, I have not stayed here overnight, but I do have had cameras running upstairs, and I have caught some EVPs from here, and of course the ends, towards the ends where the administration building is, I've heard. So.
Have you ever gone upstairs?
Yes. Unfortunately, I can't take you up there because of safety issues, but I actually had cameras running up there last night. So I'm still looking through the video on. Okay? You're welcome. I'm going to turn you back over to Leona, who's going to take them to the Wake in the Six exhibit, okay? You're very welcome.